Happy Friday. So I want to take a little bit of a moment to chat about the power of one. I'm out here running some errands, but I wanted to do this live because I feel like it's really an important topic. Before I get into the power of one, I do want to share that, hey info, welcome. I do want to share that we are having a business brunch tomorrow in Brooklyn at 333 Lounge. So if you have not gotten your business brunch tickets, then tap the link in our bio and there's an Eventbrite link that says Minding My Business and get your brunch tickets. But I do want to get right into the topic of the power of one because it does tie into our brunch for tomorrow. How I met the speakers that are going to be sharing their expertise tomorrow during our brunch. And it was literally because I made one choice, and it also boils down to one person. So the power of one. So this was quite a while ago. I was teaching, and this was like years back, maybe 2011, 2012, I'm not quite sure, but it was a little while ago. And I had a hell of a year, literally. I was teaching between 3 schools. So yes, you have not lived your best teacher life until you have had to teach 3 schools. Yes. Don't really recommend it. Anyway, so I was exhausted. It came down to like almost the last day of school. It was June, and it was graduation day for one of the 3 schools that I was teaching in. So I was a full-time position, but it was like 3 part-time positions to make up 1 full-time position. Yeah, it was wild. So here I am, so tired on the morning of graduation for this one particular school. I did not want to get myself out of bed. I wanted to stay in bed, and I literally rolled over to email my principal and say, I'm just not coming today. I can't make it. And something in me stopped myself. For some reason, I was like, no, you know what? Let me just make this final push. And when I say I was tired, this was end of June. In May, I was at a friend's house. And before I left, I'd take my shoes off because, you go to visit someone, you take your shoes off. So I put my shoes, or actually they were boots, back on to leave. And I was like, my feet feel funny. And he looks at me, he's like, Beth, your shoes are on your wrong feet. I have my left and right foot mixed up, and I didn't even really realize it. I was so out of it, and that was May. So by the time June rolled around, and now we're at the end of June, I was like, physically, I was done. But I decide I'm going to get up, and I'm going to go to work, and I'm just going to do my best. I was a little disgruntled. I was definitely having a pity party because I felt like disconnected from my students. I felt disconnected from the staff and the schools because I was just spread between these 3 places. And so I was just like kind of complaining on my way to work. But I get there, and lo and behold, there is a speaker who is introduced. Now, the speaker happened to be invited by one of my coworkers. I'm going to give her a shout out because I am forever grateful to her because she invited this person, and it really kind of launched my photography career, my professional photography career. So Ms. Brooklyn Chance, so if you go to her Instagram page, you can follow her. She's an amazing actress, and she's just like a wonderful human being, and I always like to give her credit because she invited a speaker who then, because of all of that, we now have for Saturday for our business brunch, we now have a speaker panel. Let me take my glasses off. So I hear this person get introduced, and I hear that they are a hip-hop artist, and I hear they work in the music industry. Now, I have been sitting, hey, God made a way, welcome, good to see you. Now, I have been sitting in the auditorium half awake. I mean, if I had toothpicks to pry my eyes open, I would have used them. I was so tired, I could barely sit up. But I heard the speaker being introduced, and all of a sudden I was wide awake. And the reason being was because literally the very night before this, I had been praying, I had said, God, I think it would be fun to photograph some musicians. I don't really have any clients yet. I don't know where I'm going to find a musician to photograph. Hey, Soy Leche, welcome. Beth is an amazing photographer, business mentor. Oh, thank you. So I'm sharing how we got our speaker panel for this Saturday's business brunch. Hey, lovely. And it's literally the power of one. So I'm just giving the whole story here and how we got speakers for Saturday's Minding My Business brunch tomorrow. So anyway, the night before I had been saying to God, I'd like to photograph some musicians, but I have no idea. Because see, when I first moved here to New York, I didn't know anyone. I literally did not know one human being. I knew myself. That was it. Me, myself, and I. We were a trio. That was all I knew. I didn't really have a network at all. It was non-existent. So I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to find a musician to photograph. I don't really know how this whole thing is going to go. But God, send me a musician, please. So the next day, I hadn't wanted to go to work, right? But there I am. I'm sitting there at the graduation ceremony for my 8th graders, because I was teaching middle school at the time. And one of the speakers happens to be a hip-hop artist. He happens to be in the music industry. I'm wide awake now at this point. Forget being sleep deprived, forget being exhausted. I'm like, no matter what, come hell or high water, I am talking to this man at the end of graduation. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to talk to him, and he is going to become my client. So his name is Cal Spencer. Follow him as well. He does like a lot of amazing things as well. We're still connected. It has been over 10 years. We still work together. But yes, so I go up to him at the end of graduation. I was like, hi, my name is Beth. I'm a photographer. I'd love to possibly work with you sometime, exchange contact information. This was June. I stalked that man on Facebook till probably February. Maybe not every post that he made on his Facebook page, but nearly every post. He would make a post about, you know what, you need a photographer for that. I kept reminding him. So finally it was like February or March. So it was like 6, 7, 8 months later, he hires me. He became my second photography client. But he became my second photography client only because I went to work. I made one choice when I was exhausted. Now, this is not to say force yourself when you're exhausted. Don't take self-care. Don't ever take a day off from work. Don't give yourself a break. But when you do, make sure it's a good day to do it and not like a pivotal moment day. I don't know how you would know that, but maybe ask God, go with like your gut, right? So off of this one meeting, by making that one choice to go to work on a day I didn't want to go, literally we have our entire speaker panel for tomorrow's brunch over 10 years later. But here's what happened. So my coworker, who I shared earlier, Miss Brooklyn Chance, that's her Instagram handle, you can follow her too. She invited a guest speaker to graduation named Cal Spencer. Now, so I start working with Cal. I don't know to this day if he hired me as a photographer initially because he was just like, this lady is so darn persistent. She keeps telling me I need to hire her as a photographer, or if he really thought I would do a great job as a photographer. I should ask him that question one of these days. But anyway, I started working with him. Then one day I get a phone call from a woman named Priceless Andrews. Now, I like to give credit where credit is due, and these people are all like publicly business owners and women and men. So I do like giving credit where credit is due. So she calls me up and she lets me know that she had gotten a referral somehow for me. She was hosting an event. She was starting a networking event called Ladies Power Circle. So she was looking for a woman photographer, and through Cal or someone that Cal knew, she had been referred me. So I go and I work for her. I'm like, yeah, sure, that sounds like a great event. So I go to photograph her event. At this event, who is her guest speaker? One of her guest speakers at her event was a woman named Tiffany Robinson. Yes, that's one of our guest speakers for tomorrow's brunch. Tiffany Robinson, founder of Swear NYC, amazing woman, serial entrepreneur, so kind-hearted. She's just like does amazing things in the community, right? She's a speaker at this event. So what do? Of course, I make sure to connect with her because she seemed really cool. And I stayed in contact with her. So from there, what happened is staying in contact with her. She had some events that she then hired me to do photos for. So off I go to work with her, and at one of her events, I meet a man named Carl Michel. Now, Carl Michel himself came with a whole network of people. So our speaker, hey, Sharif, welcome. I'm sharing how the Power of One and how the speaker panel came to be for Saturday's brunch. So you can go back and watch the replay to get the whole story. But so this one man that I met through Tiffany, named Carl Michel, he came with a whole network. Now, through Carl, we have our speaker Guillory Brutus, right? I know him through Carl. Also an amazing human being, very kind-hearted. He has a lot of information that he's going to be sharing on marketing and branding and faith. And he has his own nonprofit that helps and supports Haitian youth with their educations. So Guillory's going to be a speaker. Also Dylan Smith, who I met through Carl as well. A really inspiring person, defying the odds. He overcame a lot, academically struggling because he was struggling with dyslexia, and how he managed to make it through the New York State education system with a diploma and all of that. Really inspiring. Know him through there. And also, let me see, our PR speaker, Sharon Lead, I'll be honest, my memory's a little fuzzy about how I met Sharon, but it's probably somehow through this network, because a lot of the people that I currently know are through this network. And then Carl came with a sister who is also one of my favorite human beings, named Schneidine Michelle. And Schneidine, the millennial mom money magnet, she was doing a lot of different financial lives back in 2020 on her Instagram page. Something flew in my eye. Sorry. She was doing a lot of different lives, and one of her speakers that she did a collaboration with on finances was Cindy of Ascent Storycraft. So that is how that came to be. And Cindy, I have been watching I've yet to meet her in person. Tomorrow will be the first time I meet Cindy in person, but I have been watching Cindy's posts for a couple years, and she is truly just a sweetheart. She has these tips every day. She posts so much information. She is always giving away free gems on marketing and branding. I'm like, you're giving all this free stuff away? Imagine what else she knows, right? So she's also just really amazing, and so I'm super excited to have her as well. But the thing all of this comes down to is that, and Brother Gifted. I can't believe I almost forgot Brother Gifted. Brother Gifted, who is going to be opening our brunch in prayer I also met through Carl Michel. And so, yes, but this all literally goes back to one day. Now, when I went to work, so the night before I met Cal, who kind of and really launched like a lot of these people, right, into my life, directly and indirectly. I had asked God I told him I wanted to photograph musicians, and please send me some musicians because I don't know where to find them. I don't know anyone in the city. So the last place I would have expected to meet a musician that would launch my professional photography career was by going to my day job, was by going into a middle school graduation. It was the last place I would have ever thought that all of these opportunities would grow from. Hey, Reds. Welcome. Sorry about the siren noise, and then there's like construction noise. But the last place I would have expected to find opportunity for my business was by going to my day job. I see a lot of people, and I had been one of them when I had a day job. I don't miss my day job. I'm going to be honest, I don't miss it. But at the same time, that day job brought me a lot of blessings, and a lot of times the goals that we have, the dreams that we are trying to achieve and turn into reality, those opportunities are hidden. The opportunities we want, the opportunities we are looking for are hidden in places we do not expect to see them. What if I had decided and given into my exhaustion and said, you know what, forget it. It's the end of the school year. I don't feel like going anyway. It's only graduation. I don't really need to be there. I wasn't even participating, and all I was going to do was like say goodbye, best wishes to a few of my students. The way I needed to hear this message today. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, I'm so glad it's encouraging you. But you just don't know where the opportunity is, right? It's hidden, and we have to look for it. And we don't always see it until we and the thing is also, which is, I always wonder, the night before I met Cal, right? I had been praying, I've been asking God to send me a musician. If I hadn't already had that in my brain, if I hadn't already had a goal even of what I wanted to do as a business owner, now musicians are no longer my target audience, right? As you grow and evolve your business, you might change who your target audience is, who you're looking to serve, right? Now I'm looking to serve business owners. But at the time, I was clear who I was looking for. We have to get clear as businesswomen and businessmen what it is, who are we serving? Because if I hadn't the night before, I don't know that I would have gone so hard and gone out of my way to make sure I introduced myself, and then proceeded to persist in pursuing him as a client. And it didn't happen overnight. That's the thing. I met he was technically my second client, right? My second official business photography client. But I have something in my other eye now. There's dust flying all over New York City. But right, so I had to persist. It didn't happen overnight. I met him in June. The first time we worked together was like February or March of the following year. Sometimes we get into a rut as business owners and we think there's no opportunity, I don't see it. And then also sometimes we're like, but okay, I thought this was an opportunity, but where did it go? It's not working out. We have to be patient. It does not happen overnight. And this story that I'm telling you, the initial story happened over 10 years ago. The speakers for Saturday's brunch, tomorrow's business brunch, Minding My Business, are only because I literally, for over 10 years, have been minding my business. What if I hadn't been minding my business? We might not have a business brunch tomorrow. So that is what I want to just say. This is the power of one. I made one choice. I'm just going to go over it again because it's super powerful and it's so important we remember this. And I really want to encourage us. And maybe I'm also encouraging myself. I made one choice to go to work. One of my coworkers, Ms. Brooklyn Chance, took it upon herself to invite someone to speak at our graduation who was Cal Spencer. Cal Spencer then launched me into knowing a woman named Priceless Andrews, who then, through her, I met Tiffany Robinson, who is one of our guest speakers. Through Tiffany Robinson, I met a man named Carl Michel. He's not speaking tomorrow, but he has been so super supportive of me in everything I've ever done. And we've partnered together on other things. But through him, I met Guillory and Dylan and Brother Gifted. And through him, I met his sister, Schneidine Michelle, who is the reason why I met Cindy. Do you see how this is all working? And Sharon, I am so sorry. We have to talk tomorrow. I really don't remember how I met you. And Sharon is, you know, she's like really amazing. She's like an absolute powerhouse. She is, she has this program called Put Your Press Foot Forward, and just about how to present yourself, you know, in the media realm, and how to get press and attract attention and all of these things. And she is just a very kind person as well. Sharon has a group, the Ladies of Third Thursdays, which is very supportive of small businesses. She does a lot of work supporting small businesses as well. She has like a whole group. Follow her, get familiar with that, Ladies of Third Thursday, if you're not aware of them. And she even has like a nonprofit that she's starting. I think it's a nonprofit, but she's starting also like a way of mentoring children, like youth, our young ones, to like raise them up to be entrepreneurs starting when they're young. You know, you don't have to wait to start your dream till you quit your day job. You don't have to wait to start your dream till you grow up and you're like 21 or 41. You could start your dream at age 11. You can start your dream while you're working your day job, right? It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be all together, okay? So that's what I wanted to share. And I'm going to be saving this live, but if you have not gotten your brunch tickets yet for Minding My Business, we're brunching tomorrow at 333 Lounge in Brooklyn, New York. That's on 333 Flatbush Avenue. And we're going to be brunching from 11 to 1:30. So, hey, you never know. You never know by coming to one brunch and meeting one person at our brunch who you might then be able to build forward, or who might, yes, you can start your dream at age 70. You can start your dream at age 90. Literally, it is never too late. Absolutely, God made a way. I thank you that you reminded us that, like, not only young, but you can be starting literally at any age, right? Don't let it stop you, right? My grandmother, when she was 90, she wasn't starting a business, but she was on her roof shoveling snow off of it. Okay, I don't advise everyone climb a ladder and shovel snow off their roof at age 90, okay? I'm not advising that, but what I am saying is life is meant to be lived, and we are here in the land of the living, thank God. And while we're doing it here in the land of the living, like, there's no holds barred. There's nothing that we cannot do. It's never too late to do something. You know, it's just something that we have to make a commitment to do and then go for it. And yes, some days we do have to take a day off. We do have to practice self-care. So this was not like I don't want anyone to get this like a little bit carried away with it and be like, I have to go. I mean, we do live in the city of New York, city that never sleeps. Sleep is good, right? So we do want to practice self-care, but then we also sometimes need to know when to practice and when to put things on pause. Hey, Bernadette. Bernadette is also someone that I know indirectly because of being obedient and going to work on that day. I know Bernadette indirectly through Cal Spencer as well. So when I say that one choice to go someplace where I would have never dreamed opportunity would be knocking and would find me, or where I would find it, I've had so many people, so many blessings out of that one opportunity. So never turn your nose up and think that that one thing is like not good enough for you. because it is. It's good enough. It will get you going. It will keep you going. And so that's that. So anyway, our business brunch is tomorrow from 11 to 1:30. The speakers and I were super, super excited. We are really, really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we will see you all there, hopefully. And yes, if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer them. All right, so have a great rest of your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. Oh, the ticket link to get the brunch tickets is in our bio. Yes. All right. Peace.